Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, January 22nd, 2016. Really quick, the verse of the day, which is really nice, according to BibleGateway.com, is Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 and 8 says, "Ask, seek, knock. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who receives, the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks, the door will be opened." I was just talking to a friend of mine about that yesterday, so it's really nice to see it kind of in your face here in the Word. And then also, I really like how God puts things together for me and kind of presents them in certain ways that it's easy for me to know He's real, It's like a unexplainable synchronicity, so it's really great. Anywho, let's read. We are in Matthew chapter 21. Jesus comes to Jerusalem as the king. As they approached Jerusalem and came to the Bethphage on the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and at once you will find a donkey tied there, with her colt by her. Unite them and bring them to me. If anyone has anything to you, say that the Lord needs them, and He will send them right away." This took place to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet. "Say to daughter Zion, see your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey, and on the colt, and a foal of a donkey." The disciples went and did as Jesus instructed them. They brought the donkey and the colt and placed their cloaks on them for Jesus to sit on. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of them and those that followed and shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest heaven." Hosanna means 1,000 praises, so I like that. There's a song from Hillsong United Kingdom, Hillsong United, and it's called Hosanna. It's beautiful. Okay, verse 10 says, "When Jesus entered in Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, 'Who is this?' The crowds answered, 'This is Jesus the prophet from Nazareth in Galilee.' Jesus entered the temple of courts and drove out all who were buying and selling there. He overturned the tables of money changers and the benches of those selling doves. 'It is written,' he said, 'My house will be called the house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers.' The blind and the lame came to him at the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the teachers of the law saw the wonderful things he did, and the children shouting in the temple courts, 'Hosanna to the Son of David,' they were indignant. Do you hear what these children are saying?" they asked him. "Yes," Jesus replied. "Have you ever read, 'From the lips of the children and infants you, Lord, have called forth your praise'?" And he left them and went out of the city to Bethany, where he spent the night. Early in the morning, as Jesus was on the way back to the city, he was hungry. Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it, but found nothing except leaves. Then he said, May you never bear fruit again." Immediately the tree withered. When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but you also can say to this mountain, 'Go throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for your prayer." We're going to read the rest of Matthew chapter 21, the authority of Jesus, the parable of the two sons, and the parable of the tenants. I think you just need to spend some time there with the faith deal. That right there was a story based off of, it's like an allegory. So based off of what could happen, God said, if if you are a tree, if you do not bear fruit, then there's no point of your existence. And I know it sounds very, very harsh, but that's what he's saying to his people, you know. Um, and I think that that's part of being a Christian is, you know, taking up the cross and doing your part as far as, you know, stepping out in faith and as far as letting other people know the kind of peace that you have. I mean, how do you be quiet once you're saved and you're, you know, feeling the love of God and all of the blessings? It's very difficult to keep that contained. And if you do, you know, I think that that's definitely something you should pray about, you know, because I don't know if maybe you feel ashamed or you don't feel welcomed or what have you. So just, you know, just know that there's other places in the world where you're not able to talk about God and Jesus, and you will be shot or killed or any of those kind of things. And so just be grateful for the freedoms that we have here and use them and speak and tell people what changes your life. Okay, so we're going to read the devotion. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to look through the one that we found. Investing in the future. We get that. Future and poverty. Social Security we read. And so deeds of trust. Okay. Here's nothing else to look for in choosing your neighbors. Stable people are dependable. When they say they'll be somewhere, they show up. When they make you a promise, they keep it. Maybe not all the time, but most of the time. But their integrity doesn't necessarily lie in good upbringing or some freakish strength no one else could match. Many stable people have simply learned to put their trust in God, who is faithful and who have learned to become more trustworthy as a result. And that's the beauty of good neighbor. They tend to rub off on you. When you've never known much stability or of having trouble finding strength in unseen God, you can trust in the deeds of those God has already strengthened. Perhaps there will be a day when they'll need your strength too. That's how it works. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Proverbs 17:17. Walking on water. It's wise to move off the beach, to head inland, to build your solid foundation, to use a brick and mortar, to choose dependable neighbors. Despite this, the storms will still come. Destructive winds will blow. Floodwaters will rise, and even some strongest house will eventually feel the strain. But here's some great news. Living the life that matters isn't just about being stable enough to weather the storms. It's about embracing God, who looks into the eye of the hurricane and says, "Peace, be still." It is about looking to God, who is rest in the strongest storm. His foundation is so strong that he can even walk on the stormy waters. And when he invites you to come, you too can walk on and stop atop the raging waves as if they were solid ground. Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come on the water." "Come," he said. And Peter got down on the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. Matthew 14, verses 28 through 29. It's beautiful. Can't wait to ask Matthew about all those kinds of things. And then also, I cannot wait to meet David in heaven. He is a man after my own spirit and soul. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you tomorrow.